Hi, this is Kim Clark from liftyourgaze.org, and I'm coming to you with 2 additional questions from Chapter 2 of my multiple award-winning and Amazon best-selling book, Deep Waters Lift Your Gaze. These questions are from a correctional facility in Florida where I can not go in due to COVID-19 restrictions. And the chaplains and the inmates, I've sent them training videos on how they can teach my books as curriculum, trauma healing curriculum. And they're going through Chapter 2, and I've encouraged the chaplain who's done so kudos to you, to send me the questions from the inmates, and I'm answering them. So the second set of questions is, with trials you go through, how do you remember that God has a better outcome for you when the trial is over? How do you overcome it? Oh, totally get you. This is a great question. I've learned that I have faith memory loss, which means that I forget how faithful God has been when I'm walking through a trial. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but I do. So I have to journal my heart, what my struggles, and I journal what God's speaking to me, the scripture, and then I also usually add in red how God answered my prayers. That helps me when I look back and my faith memory loss and my faith is weak. I look back and go, okay, remember when, or I just ask God, help me remember when you've been faithful in the past, or when I repeat scripture. Scripture is really helpful as your greatest sword, because the enemy will want to come in and cause you to steal your joy. That's one of his greatest tactics, is to say, oh, God's forsaken you. He's never coming, which is not true. He's not done that. So be encouraged and lift your gaze, and you can do that through scripture and through journaling. That should really help you. It seems like for me, always put God in a box, praying what I think is best for a specific solution, and maybe you might do that as well. I find that when God finally does answers my prayers, it is exceedingly and more abundantly, so much more than I could ever asked or imagined. So be encouraged that sometimes he's waiting because it takes time to make perfect. God spoke to my heart on this very issue. I took my son out for breakfast, he's young, on Saturday, and while we're eating, I'd asked him if he'd like an Xbox headset. He had some money left over from his birthday, and he had been waiting for one for a while, the one you could talk into and play your little games. He only had a $25 gift card, and the headset was $40 plus shipping and tax. I told him his dad and I would cover the difference. He was beyond excited. And then I shared with him that his favorite indoor trampoline park was having a summer special, and that my husband and I, his dad and I, would like to bless him for doing so well on his report card where we all walk through distance learning. He was beyond excited. And that just goes to show you, he just wanted the money to cover the headset, or just wanted the headset. And we not only gave him, because he didn't have enough money, we gave him not only the extra money, but another blessing as well. And I felt the Lord speak to my heart, that's what I'm doing for you. And that's what I'm doing, I believe he's doing for you too. He's blessing us exceedingly and more abundantly more than we can ask or imagine. We just have to wait on his perfect timing. This all had been in the works while he had been using a broken headset and complaining and struggling. And the whole time we had been researching, finding the best headset, looking around because we didn't want something that broke just like his other one that just broke. We had been looking at the best return policy, the best reviews, and it was already happening. So be encouraged. Just because you don't see it, God's at work. And he's at work bigger and more abundantly, more exceedingly, more than we can ask or imagine. So be encouraged. Be encouraged. And I felt after I did that for my son, the Lord tugged at my heart and said, that's just like me for you. I'm doing something abundantly and exceedingly abundantly more than you can ask or imagine. So I also want to encourage you, go to page 39 of my book and look at that picture, that rainbow. I've seen a lot of rainbows this time of year. And that rainbow actually happened when we had a huge storm on the beach, and my husband hates rain. So he doesn't like the beach either. So we were on the beach and it was raining. So he was really cranky. And we were there and we're underneath that umbrella. And it's just a deluge, it just poured down upon us. No one else on the beach. Look to the left. It's not raining over there. Look to the right. It's not raining over there. No one's on the beach because it had been raining on and off. But of course we diehards, or me as a diehard, went. So and after the rain stopped, I was like, okay, great, we could play. And my husband and my son were just kind of frolicking in the waves, playing in the waves. And I look up and there's this huge, full rainbow out of the entire ocean. It was so beautiful. And I heard so clearly from the Lord, the greater the storm, the greater the blessing. So if you're walking through a storm, I believe this word is for you. The greater the storm, the greater the blessing. Hold on to that promise and just hold on to that. So be encouraged. Right after that, it was really funny. I think that was a warning for me. We were out driving and it rained again that night. And my husband wasn't feeling well. We went out to dinner. As we were leaving the restaurant, he asked me to drive, which was fine. My son was in the back seat, and the rain came down so hard it actually flooded the street. So as I exited the restaurant's parking lot to turn in, there was a huge, the water was just so deep I didn't realize it. And then the cars were starting to come, so I backed up, not realizing there was a grate completely submerged in water, which pulled off the entire front end of my husband's car. It had a low profile, and because of the water and the grate sticking up so high, it yanked it off. And all of a sudden, my husband, who was kind of dozing off because he wasn't feeling well, said, what was that? And I said, that was the sound of me pulling off the front end of your car. He was not happy. He gets out in the pouring rain, which again, he hates. And we had charging cables for our phone, and he's taking the charging cables for the phone and actually tying them to tie the front end of his car back onto the car so we could drive it. And it was really interesting because of that, because if it rained and it poured, and because I ripped the front end off by accident, we actually ended up getting a new car, a brand new car, better and more amazing. We were able to give that car to someone else who really needed it. So what we all thought was horrible, me ripping the front end of the car, was actually the coolest thing that ever happened. So that's my prayer for you, that God would redeem this, use this, and bless you exceedingly abundantly beyond your wildest dreams. God bless you. Can't wait to come and give you more answers to some questions.